Well, surprise, surprise, there's usually plenty to be stressed out about, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. So today we're talking about going from stressed to strong and looking for those easy solutions for Stress Awareness Month, even though Juliana Liddon has already told me we can do this every day. We don't need a month for it.
That's right.
Therapist and life coach with Connect with Juliana is here. So expert advice, managing the stress. It doesn't have to overwhelm us because we all have it. So how do we manage it?
Yeah, it's so hard. And one of the main things we need to do is start to have an awareness of when we're getting stressed. So I say to my clients, how are you experiencing it in your mind and body? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you get headaches? Does your stomach hurt? Once we start to have an awareness of it, then we can start to shift and get the help we need, because 80% of Americans say they experience some kind of stress or anxiety.
And again, that can be any wide range of measurable stress.
That's right.
So number 2 on the list, how do we help the loved ones in our lives who find themselves a little bit stressed out? Because that can then weigh on you or become somewhat of a projection.
It can, and sometimes when we're alone and we're stressed, it multiplies, right? So don't go in too hard. I recommend you just are there for the person. You listen, you check in on them, you offer support. That goes a long way when you're feeling way overwhelmed.
And probably something as simple as like, how are you doing?
Yes.
Or because the how was your day is pretty generic.
Yeah.
That kind of gets lost in a text.
It
You know,
does, it
like,
does.
how are you feeling?
Yes,
Okay.
right, just that call.
And then in the interim, maybe between sessions with your coach or your therapist, what should you be doing? Obviously, they give you some practices, but is there something you could be doing in the interim?
know, it's hard because there's only one of us, right? And we're trying to manage a book of a lot
Right,
of people.
no kidding.
So I tell people to start learning to self-soothe. So often in our nation, we're in that quick fix, right? We want the answer, we want the problem, we want to figure it out. So get those apps. There's a lot of them. I tell my clients before bed, lay down and start to just relax different parts of your body. These apps are awesome. They'll lead you through it. So you're scanning your body. You're having that opportunity to learn how to relax, because so many of us are stressed. We don't know the difference between being calm and, hyped up.
Right, and when you're excited versus nervous or anxious, like those are
Right.
very different feelings.
They
so it's
are.
good. Micro breaks. This is not a term that I'm all that familiar with. So what exactly is the power of a micro break?
Okay, so often when we're stressed, we feel that we need to take these long, periods off, long nap or get
Expensive vacation.
Yes,
like
yes.
Something.
But the way to handle it in a really savvy way is to take that break many times a day. So if you can eat your lunch outside, if you can take a walk and get in the fresh air, if you can just take a break, turn off the computer and deep breathe, right?
One of my coworkers teased me the other day. I was just staring out the window. It was a cloudy day. And they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Actually, I'm great." So something that small and insignificant. But
Absolutely. It builds, and we have to do it because, remember, we're trying to check in and figure out what our barometer is with stress.
yes, always be measuring. Last but not least, Juliana, mindset shifting and that helpless mentality to empowerment.
Yes. So here's one of the main things. When we get stressed, we overreact. So we're in that reactive response, right? That emotion spikes up. We need to practice just responding, not getting into that overreactive place. So that way we're learning to language it, right? We're having that check where we're like, okay, I'm moving way off here. I need to pause for a minute and think about my words.
Yes, and if you do have to count, I know you've told us that before. 1, 2, you can do it like Ross Geller, 1,000. I don't care how you do it, and neither do you,
That's right. It doesn't matter.
Get
Breathe.
it done.
Breathe.
Juliana, I love it. Thank you. Okay, we'll be checking in with you mid-month and see how we're doing.
That's right.